Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Noom from Zentangle. Oh, this is a neat one. It's a great border tangle. It kind of has that, I don't know if you call it chain, kind of, well, sort of Celtic knot-ish. Also, it's just really, really neat. So it starts off with S shapes. So, and I'm going to go diagonal here and just start. I'm trying to draw them smaller than I normally do, I think. I don't know why sometimes there's some tangles that I just like to draw enormously. Well, let's see. I'm going to get bigger as we go. That's just how apparently the pen wants to go. And oh, S shape. Then I'm just going, right? Um, and then and it's all S shapes. We're not touching. So in the bottom, curve part of the S, you start a new one, and just make sure to to clear and leave some space between those S's. And this is where you could also have fun curving it and just doing a lot of neat things. Okay, so once you have kind of this uh, broken chain of S's, then I'm starting right back up at the top, sort of from the middle of this, because really, if this was going off of the page, right, if we were continuing, I would have that line, yes, there, and like here, I would have that there. Okay, so I'm going to start about midway. I'm just going to put a little dot there because I want you to see. So this line that's coming up, you can kind of just think, okay, air draw, but don't actually draw, and then start it like as if it was curving all the way to here, right? This is just going to be a C-shaped curve, and we're going to go from here to here. So kind of like from the start of one S to the start of the next S. But as you come down, just make sure you kind of come down close to where the bottom of the S goes. And then from there, and then we're just, picking it up again. So just a series of these C-shaped curve lines, like so. Then, guess what? Turn your tile. Same thing again. Rinse and repeat. And like I said, here, it's like, okay, I'm gonna start mine here. And like I said, it is usually about midway, because you don't have to, like, if you're gonna. I didn't have to like continue it off the page. I just like to do that because I think it's fun. You could, uh, let's see, how would we could figure out a way to make it look like it just ends, and there are ways to do that. And I have to remember, if I looked at the for more inspiration link, they might have some samples on there of doing just that. Well, actually, let's see. Yeah, depending on where you would end. Well, oh, here's what we would do. So, like, if I hadn't drawn this, I could take this curve line and just meet it right up with it. And sometimes I might do something like that. Oh, sorry, moved my face away from the mic. I try not to do that. I want to turn this. I always forget to turn my phone off, and then somebody is always blowing up my phone. Just kidding. But anyway, so that's how you could do that. And so then you would just end up kind of with, this would be the end. So it would just like continue here. So if you want to do that, there's how you would. Okay. Oops, and let's do this one out here. But like I said, I like to do this because I just think it's fun. It's like a puzzle. All right, next step. So we have both sides. Then more S shapes. Now this one, actually I'm going to start it right here because this is a full one. So these inside pieces, right, that are this openness, and this is why you want to leave it open, is we're going to do, this would be like a backwards S though. So I'm going to start here, and like that. So just touching those lines. So however it ends up, right, and I just touch the top. And here, you're kind of making a, well, like so right here, I'm going to start in the middle between these two, sort of, and then end sort of in the middle of those two. The trick is to make sure that you save enough room. And if you don't, it's all right. We'll figure it out. Okay. Oops. Let's see. And then I always go backwards and figure out. So this would be coming here like that. All right. This is essentially the last step before we do shading. So what we just did, those backwards S's. So right here, so this new end that we have, we're just gonna. I'm just drawing a little curve line, and then we're gonna fill it in. There's like a lot of those great tangles where we're creating holes. I think of it like the Acme hole from Bugs Bunny, you know. They're just neat. Well, yeah, a hole, and it doesn't have to be round like this one isn't. And this could be a way too. Oh, let's see, I was just thinking. I mean, so there might be some ways to course correct here. I mean, because we're filling in. The only thing is maybe as a suggestion, leave when you're doing the S's, the initial step. Maybe leave them a little bit shy of where you think. So, because I kind of made a nice curve line. I was like, didn't do that because you could always extend it, and especially because so here, wait, I gotta find where is that original S? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so here's one. Yeah, so if I didn't come up so far, and then start this one in so far, I could have probably started that one up here. Um, but so if you leave it a little shy, you can always adjust a little bit with the when you're filling in. All right, then that is essentially it. So you can have fun with, how like mine is kind of wide if I'm looking at it this way, but you can play with the shape of it and how you do your S's. So if you make your S's a little more elongated, then it's going to have a little bit different shape. It's just really, really neat. Shading wise, let's see, there's some neat things you can do with this. Now, the one thing that I know I like to do myself is when I'm looking at where to start shading, I always kind of look for, well, what's under something else, and really, so we have this kind of chain, right? So like this is tucked under here. This is over, so we could put, and that's what I'm going to do. Is a little graphite. Now the challenge is because, well, we have it here too. The, the challenge of that is that, well, if you put it on both sides, then you kind of lose it. It doesn't have as much of an effect because it ends up being all gray. So something has to be a little bit different. You could do one maybe a little bit darker, one side. Let's see. Yeah, so that looks neat. The other thing that I was thinking, and to kind of work that over under, is, and I'm just going to put some here, pretending that this part is under the other, and it kind of makes it a little, a bit like it's weaved, or sometimes when I think of a chain, you have like interlinking type of things, and this might help to emphasize. At least that's what I had in my mind before. Okay, yeah, it kind of does. That's what I had in my mind before I put the graphite down, and then it was just going to be a test of, well, let's see. and you would have seen too, and then you would have seen, okay, how do we get out of this if it's not? Because I do, these are all, once I get started, it's all one take, and that's it. And actually, this could go right to that line. Sometimes I don't like to have just that where the graphite just stops. I like it to taper off or taper into something, or like this. That can have a nice hard stop right there. Yeah. So that adds something, and then I mean, honestly, you could, if you want to put some graphite here and here just to add for that roundness, you could. But I'm going to show something. I did not put this in my step out, so I'm going to just share it here. If you look at the For More Inspiration link, there's a couple additions, at the end. So they show just shading straight underneath, which you could still do, kind of like, or like, I can't remember now if it was touching or not. You could have it touching, you could have it just a little distance away, and that would be like a drop shadow. Then you could also, and the way they did this is it seemed like, now I'm going to have to go look. Sorry. They did an aura. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. I was thinking that the aura it touched, but it didn't. It just looked like it did. All right. So an aura around the entire thing. Although, you know what? Take a look, because there were some in the samples, and it's the newsletter, so you just have to scroll down to see the gorgeous samples. And there were some where they did some aura-ing on the inside, and that would be neat to try too. But sometimes there's just something about aura-ing, a completed tangle, that I think it finishes it off nicely, kind of frames it, if you will, and that it's just nice. So there we go. My light is being a bit bright. Let's dim that for a second. All right. And I want to put it the right way. This way, because of the way I shaded it, it kind of has an up and a down, which we don't normally do. But yeah, neat tangle. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click the like button. Feel free to leave comments and share it. And if you like me enough to see more, would love to have you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you enjoy my style, you might want, I'm not going to tell you, you might want to join us online. So I do classes almost twice weekly. We have a great group of regulars. Gosh, because I've been doing this since I think I started April of 2020, and we have a nice group. Actually, some that I have to go back and look and see who were my first peeps on there. But there's a lot that have been on for like for 2 years, and we've developed some really fun friendships and tangle ships, we could call them. So it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of laughing, a lot of goofing around, and make some amazing work. So check out the description section. Below the links to the step outs has a link to my website, also to our private Facebook group. So if you're interested in that, and you happen to be on Facebook, would love to have you join us. I will warn you, I do have a couple of membership questions that are required. And just so that way you know, and it's nothing bad, nothing hard. I just like to set the tone for the group. So yeah, with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.